Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's head outside and take a look outside our weather window from this afternoon, and a lot of cloudiness as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi tower camera. It's up on Wenatchee Heights. We call it the cross camera, and a few lower hanging clouds did make an appearance mid-afternoon. That's above the Cascades there, and then we have a winter weather advisory in effect. It went into effect at 3 o'clock this afternoon. It'll go until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And this is what we kind of expect as far as snowfall. Wenatchee maybe 2 to 3 inches. I'll be surprised if we see that much. About the same as we head up to the Omak, Twisp, and Winthrop areas and places east. Also about 2 to 3 inches of snow. So be very careful if you're traveling tonight, later on, or tomorrow morning. And we'll have more weather information for you coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Wenatchee man suspected of firing gunshots at another man in the 200 block of Boudry Street back on November 3rd was formally arraigned yesterday. The Okanagan River reached minor flood stage at Tonasket this week, a fact the National Weather Service says is highly unusual. And Washington continues to make progress in the fight to vaccinate all eligible residents against COVID-19. But first, our top story tonight. The Washington State Patrol is investigating a collision yesterday morning involving a Douglas County Sheriff's Office cruiser and another vehicle. Both Chief Criminal Deputy Steve Grossclose, who's 54 years old, and the driver of the other vehicle, 35-year-old Matthew Mickelson of East Wenatchee, suffered minor injuries that did not require hospitalization. According to the State Patrol, about 10:15 a.m., Grossclose was driving his marked vehicle with its lights and siren on Highway 28, Sunset Highway, when he entered the intersection with Eastmont Avenue on a red light. His 2016 Ford Explorer hit the driver's side of Mickelson's 2020 Chevrolet Equinox, which was crossing the intersection on a green light heading toward the Otobashan Bridge. Trooper John Bryant said the sheriff's office requested that the Washington State Patrol investigate. The results of that investigation will be turned over to the sheriff, who will determine what, if any, action will be taken. A Wenatchee man suspected of firing gunshots at another man in the 200 block of Boudry Street back on November 3rd was formally arraigned yesterday on a charge of first-degree assault. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say 26-year-old Jesus Garibay fired a handgun at the intended victim, but missed about 6:30 p.m. that evening, and the victim escaped on foot to safety. A local SWAT team was called up to arrest Garibay at his home on Terminal Avenue. He remains jailed on $500,000 bond. The Okanagan River reached minor flood stage at Tonasket this week, a fact that the National Weather Service says is highly unusual. The river hit nearly 15.5 feet yesterday thanks to rains last week on top of mountain snow that fell in southern British Columbia in late October. Previous high levels for this time of year only got as high as 13.7 feet. The Similkameen River also caught a lot of that runoff, and the Okanagan County Emergency Management Department captured this drone video of the Similkameen running high with muddy water and debris at Enlow Dam. The water level in both rivers is already diminishing and not expected to rise again soon. Washington continues to make progress in the fight to vaccinate all eligible residents against COVID-19. Michelle Roberts, Assistant Secretary with the State Department of Health, says those numbers are improving among both adult and new pediatric vaccine recipients.
I'm really happy to share that we continue to make progress every day, getting more people vaccinated and protected against COVID-19. 80% of people age 12 and older have received at least one dose of vaccine. So thrilled we've crossed that 80% mark, and more than 73% of that age group is fully vaccinated. We're also now starting to get a better look at the number of kids who are getting vaccinated across our state, which is information that will be added to DOH's data dashboard website soon. Since eligibility expanded earlier this month, More than 60,000 kids between the ages 5 and 11 have received their first dose of Pfizer vaccine. What's great is our pediatric vaccine supply is also increasing every day, which means it's becoming easier for families to find vaccine locations near them. To date, we've ordered about 500,000 doses of pediatric vaccine, which includes an extra 50,000 doses we specifically requested from the federal government to help us keep up with demand. There couldn't be a better time to get your child vaccinated. If they get their first dose this week, they'll be fully vaccinated before the new year and much more protected from the worst outcomes of COVID illness. To schedule an appointment, you can reach out to your child's pediatrician, your healthcare provider, your local pharmacy, or mobile clinics. To find vaccine locations near you, visit the state's vaccine locator website or vaccines.gov. Type in your zip code, and at the top page, you can filter results to show Pfizer pediatric vaccine locations near you.
Coming up next, the State Department of Ecology says a Grant County farm must pay $2,000 for using water it had no rights to. The Douglas County PUD has decided to keep the current boundaries as they are for commissioners running to head the utility. You may not have been aware, but today is Worldwide GIS, or Geographic Information Systems Day. We'll tell you more about that. And Dan Kuntz visited the Town Toyota Center yesterday and talked with Corey Batista of the Women's Service League about the return of My Girlfriend's Closet. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
At Wenatchee Power Sports, we proudly offer the Polaris product line. Polaris builds the highest quality side-by-side in the industry, with off-road capability that's second to none. The Polaris pre-order program allows customers to purchase the vehicle they want without having to select from limited dealer inventory. The Wenatchee Valley has year-round access to some of the best ORV trails in the Northwest. Start your adventure here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome back. In another news, the State Department of Ecology says a Grant County farm must pay $2,000 for using water it had no rights to. Metro Farms of Quincy legally sold its irrigation rights last spring, but illegally continued to divert water from that irrigation source to 22 acres of agricultural land well into the summer. Ecology says the illicit water use was detected in June. The department reported the fine as part of its roundup of enforcement actions carried out between July and September. Well, it's the season of redistricting, and the Douglas County PUD has decided to keep the current boundaries as they are for commissioners running to head the utility. A proposal was put on the table in October to remap the PUD districts to match those represented by Douglas County commissioners. The county's elected Board of Commissioners encouraged that option, saying it would be helpful to both voters and ratepayers. But the PUD board decided at their November 8th meeting to maintain commissioner districts as they are, saying Douglas County's population hasn't shifted enough in the 2020 census to require new district maps. The current districts will now remain in force for at least the next 10 years. Well, you may not have been aware, but today is Worldwide GIS, or Geographic Information Systems Day. The State Department of Natural Resources was aware and used the occasion to share some light detecting and ranging imaging of some of the state's most iconic landforms. Included were Spencer Canyon in Chelan County, Frenchman Coulee near Quincy, and an alluvial fan along the Columbia River in Douglas County. Enjoy. Well, with my girlfriend's closet preparing to return tomorrow, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz visited the Town Toyota Center yesterday and talked with Corey Batista of the Women's Service League about the group's biggest annual fundraiser.
We are at the Town Toyota Center, no longer at the old Hastings building. We moved down here last weekend. It was an incredible feat, but we did it. Our members and other community volunteers, including the Wild Boys, helped us get all the stuff down here. So we're opening this Friday, 9 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 7, and Sunday, 1 to 3. So all of our merchandise that was ready to go down at the old Hastings building is now here. And so the fact that we have been on hold for, almost 2 years at this point, we couldn't be more excited to be back. And, our donation, or the money that we raise, does go to help nonprofits in the community, women and children that need our help. And as you know, those organizations are really in need at this point. It's free admission. People keep asking about tickets. There are no tickets. When the doors open at 9 o'clock, you do not need a ticket. Everybody can come in. There's no preview party. And I think the biggest thing is that in order to come into Girlfriend's Closet, we are at the north side of the building. So the VIP entrance, so not the front door where you come in to go to concerts or Wenatchee Wild games. It's on the other side.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Saturday, December 4th, RLS Productions presents the West Coast Best Bon Jovi and Journey tribute bands at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Non-Jovi will bring back the stadium rock of the 80s, and the Infinity Project celebrates Journey, one of rock and roll's greatest hitmakers. Guests may enjoy an exquisite dinner before the concert or just the concert. Dinner and concert tickets are available at rlstickets.com. That's rlstickets.com.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Time now for our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight we meet 4 guinea pigs.
This week on Pause for Pets, Haley introduces us to 4 guinea pigs named Jack Jack, Momo, Dee Dee, and Nibby.
I'm here to show you our lovely guinea pigs. This one in my arms is Momo. He's a good boy. You might want to go down. Whee! All of our guinea pigs were owner surrendered to us. I believe this situation was they didn't have enough room. They brought us 2 girls and 2 boys. The girls are a bonded pair, so they need to go together. The boys would prefer to stay separated. If you did want to get all 4, or the girls and boy, or both boys, every single one of them is very well socialized. They're good with having their nails trimmed. It's better if you do 2 people for nail trims, 1 hold, 1 trim. They love their veggies. As you can see, they all love chomping on their carrots. Each one is only $10, so if you are interested in adopting one or the bonded pair or all of them, you can come on down to the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. We are open every day from 11 to 6. We are closed daily from 1:30 to 2:30 for quiet time for our animals.
Let's take a look now at your north central Washington weather forecast as we begin to head into the upcoming weekend. Hope you had a great Thursday. It was a cloudy one, that's for sure. This is a shot from this afternoon down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights, our cross camera. Clouds did lower throughout the afternoon. We are still under a winter weather advisory here in the Wenatchee Valley, the greater Wenatchee Valley, and that will run until about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We could see about 1 to 3 inches of snow, which could make travel around our area tonight and once again tomorrow just a little bit treacherous. It was a cool one today, that's for sure. 38 degrees is all our unofficial high temperature. 43 is where we should be for this time of year. We didn't warm up much, 32 to 38 degrees. 30 is our normal low. And our record low from a very cold 1985, our record low 4 degrees. Sunrise this morning, 7:10, and the sun will set, or did set this afternoon, I should say, at 4:21. Let's take a peek at your temperatures as we get you into Friday and the end of our work week. It's going to be about the same as today, maybe a touch warmer. 43 for Moses Lake, 42 in both Ephrata and for Quincy, about 40 here in the Wenatchee area, 39 in Cashmere, 38 in Leavenworth, 40 up in Chelan and Omak, Tonasket area. You will see 41 for your high tomorrow. Tonight, let's take a look. Here's the weather maker, an area of low pressure just off the coast of Washington and Oregon, and that's spreading snow and rain east across the state. This is about midnight or so when we really expect the activity to really kick into gear. We're going to see some of that leftover rain and snow tomorrow morning too, so keep that in mind as you make that morning commute. But by Friday afternoon, most of the activity will be in Montana, and our high temperatures tomorrow, as we mentioned, right around that 40-degree mark. As we get you into the weekend, boy, things don't look bad at all. Partly cloudy skies. We'll see dry conditions and warmer temperatures with high temperatures Saturday into the mid-40s. Same goes for Sunday, a pretty quiet weather day. We'll see partly cloudy skies. We'll call it seasonably mild with high temperatures once again in the mid-40s. As we get you into the first work day of our next work week, things will begin to change a little bit once again. Partly cloudy throughout the day, another area of low pressure, and here's the frontal boundary, which will begin to move in late Monday with highs in the mid-40s. And then as we get you into Tuesday, there is a chance for rain. Once again, it'll be mainly, I think, in the morning hours, and most of it will be in the Cascades, but we're going to keep about a 50% chance for some rain on Tuesday. Look at those temperatures, too, in the upper 40s for highs Tuesday afternoon. And then some more clouds move in for Wednesday. We'll call it mostly cloudy. It will be mild once again with highs in the mid-40s. And here is our next storm system, and it looks like for Thanksgiving, that is going to move our way, and we are going to see blue all across Washington State next Thursday. We'll have more on that tomorrow night for your Thanksgiving forecast. But tonight, 31. Snow and rain expected throughout our overnight into Friday morning. It's going to be kind of a messy commute tomorrow. An AM mix of rain and snow, partly cloudy on Friday and 40 degrees. 45 for Saturday and partly cloudy. So the weekend, it looks pretty nice. Hope you have some plans this weekend. And then as we get you into Monday and Tuesday, rain developing once again. That'll be late in the day on Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday, though, a warm one at 47 degrees. And then Wednesday, mostly cloudy and mild with a high of 45. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
What is home? A place to gather, a place to grow, provide shelter for the ones we love, eat, drink, restore, build trust. It's a place to rest when the workday is done, a place to find quiet after a night of good fun. What an honor we have at Guild to help own, finance, create, pave the way to live in home.
A new novel is now available at Amazon.com. The title, Lost Treasure of the China Bar, details life on the Columbia River and Plateau during the 1800s. You ask, is the treasure still buried somewhere near Chelan? Find out by reading Lost Treasure of the China Bar.
Lost Treasure of the China Bar. Buy it on Amazon.com. $12.99 for paperback, $2.99 for Kindle. A great gift.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. The Seattle Kraken lost their fifth straight game last night. Today, 4-2 decision to Chicago. For the third straight game, Seattle found itself behind early. The Blackhawks scored in the first and second periods and led 3-0 before the Kraken finally got on the board.
Work back out to Vince Dunn towards the net and then across. Blocked. This time by Seth Jones. Shot by Geeky. That did not get through. Loose in front. They score. Jujhar Khaira. Power play goal. The Kraken are on the board as it was backhanded in by Jared McCann. Worked around by Doc. Kept alive by the Kraken. Here's Everly to Dunn. And now Gord with a shot. He scores. Johnny Gord pulls the Kraken to within one with a minute 49 remaining. Here comes Everly. Everly gives the puck away. It's cleared towards the empty net and in. McCabe puts the Blackhawks back up by 2. Will lose their fifth in a row as time winds down. Blackhawks 4, Kraken 2.
Seattle will try to get back on the winning track when they host Colorado Friday at 7 o'clock at Climate Pledge Arena. On the Les Schwab women's college basketball scoreboard from last night, Haley Van Lith only scored 2 points, but was happy to feed the ball to Emily Engsler, who had 20 to lead Louisville to a win over UT Martin, 62-30 the final. Next up for Van Lith and the Cardinals is a trip to Seattle on Saturday to face Washington at 2 o'clock. Well, the men's college basketball schedule for tonight, Washington State plays at Idaho on ESPN+. Washington will host Wyoming tonight at 8 o'clock on the Pac-12 network. Well, the Seahawks have no room for error as they prepare to take on Arizona Sunday in Seattle. The following last weekend's loss to Green Bay, Seattle's record is just 3-6, and if they have any shot at the playoffs, they can't afford another loss. Bobby Wagner says there's frustration in the locker room, but not enough to dismantle the team's goals.
Obviously, there is some frustration because you have, a lot of guys that are, want to win, a lot of guys who are hungry to win, and the tradition here has been winning. And so, obviously, it's not going the way that we want it to go, but I think at the end of the day, everybody just wants to win and do their part to turn this thing around. And I think that's the gist of the locker room is what can we do right now to, start to chip away at this hole that we put ourselves in.
Wagner says an easy way for Seattle to turn its fortunes around is to not commit so many costly penalties.
We don't have much more margin for error. We can't keep giving games away. We can't keep, shooting ourselves in the foot. And so I think it's, a lot of the messaging is getting out of our way. There were some penalties that we had that could have been avoided. And so, especially when you're playing, great teams like Green Bay or Arizona or whoever we have coming up, there's already enough against us. We can't get in our own ways.
As the defense continues to improve, a standout is second-year linebacker Jordan Brooks. Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. says his success comes from the work he puts in.
I think anytime you see a really good performance on Sunday, it's only taking value in the process on Monday through Saturday. It doesn't happen. Sunday doesn't happen without the work during the week. Sunday doesn't happen without the work, without the communication, without study habits, without taking care of your body. It's such a big process. And for young players, it's really hard for them to really get it. They think they can just show up here and be special, and special has to be earned and has to be worked at. And he's doing a great job of realizing that, really taking value in the people around him who have been here for a while and playing at a high level, and learning from his experiences and from the really good veterans around him. So what you see him doing on Sunday is only a reflection of what the hard work he's been putting in during the week.
Meanwhile, the struggle has been on the offensive side of the ball so far this season. First-year coordinator Shane Waldron is not taking all the blame, however. Coach Pete Carroll says you have to weigh what's been happening in the injury department.
Let's just look what's happened. We had Russ was playing, and then he left in the Rams game, and then we had to bounce back with G, and which he did a nice job, and we altered what we were doing just to make sure that we gave ourselves a chance to win. And so then we come back at the Packers and Russ's first game back. I think we need to settle everything down and get back to the ball that we liked earlier in the year, and when we thought we started to get things rolling. So, but it's been tumultuous in that regard, so I think that also not having Chris, where we were really leaning on Chris, had made a difference to us too, so those are just the situations he's had to deal with. It ain't been easy, and so I'm looking forward. We got 8 weeks to do something here and see where we wind up after that, and we need to make progress.
And the Chris that coach is referring to there is Chris Carson, the running back. They still don't know if he'll be available to play this week. Seattle and Arizona kickoff Sunday at 1:25 at Lumen Field. The game will be broadcast on Fox. State volleyball tournaments get underway tomorrow morning for teams in our area. Down in Yakima, the Wenatchee Panthers have an 8:45 game against Mount Rainier in the first round at the Sun Dome. After an undefeated Big Nine season and district title, Coach Marnie McMahon will take her girls down to try to earn Wenatchee its 4th trophy at state. We're going to hear more from Marnie, hear more from the girls tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The Sun Dome will be a packed place for the 4A, 3A, and 2A tournaments, all going on over the next 2 days. The larger schools had to move to Yakima when an agreement between the WIAA and St. Martin's College fell through. That'll mean a 7 a.m. game for Ellensburg tomorrow morning against White River. Ephrata will face Anacortes at 8:45. Meanwhile, the State 2B football playoffs will begin for Okanagan tomorrow night here in Wenatchee. The Bulldogs will take on Columbia Burbank in the quarterfinals at Lee Boftel Field of the Apple Bowl. They'll kick off tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Liberty Bell, meanwhile, has a quarterfinal 1B playoff game at Lions Field of Moses Lake on Saturday afternoon at 3 against Odessa. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Eric, and now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Tomorrow for a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, one of my all-time favorite Wenatchee Valley residents. Unfortunately, that couldn't be arranged, so instead I'll be talking to Dave Tosh of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, also the host of Vibrant Living here on the NCWLIFE channel. The Christmas Cottage is open at the Senior Center. We had a great conversation with Dave. We'll have that for you tomorrow. We'll have that forecast. Yeah, we'll talk a little sports, and we'll have some fun, too. Get your weekend going the right way. Tomorrow morning, we're live and local at 7 a.m. on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.